What's going on YouTube? It's me, it's Ben. I hope you guys are doing fantastically. I know I am here in Victoria lockdown, what feels like a million. And what lockdown means for us is piss poor attempts at growing a beard and home workouts. What we're talking about today is my collection. In the third episode, we'll be talking about the oddballs. We'll be talking about the guitars that don't quite fit with any kind of categorization, if I can say that word correctly. They're just their own things, more or less. So I want to talk to you about them, and I'll give you a little bit of a story behind each of them. The last one I'm going to show you has the best story. It's an awesome story, so stick around for that one. First off, we have my friend and yours, the Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray. Now, you guys know that a couple of those Tokais of mine were up for sale to get something a little bit different. I don't have that yet, but this was one of those guitars that may have been on the chopping block. And then I played it. And I love this guitar so much. It's incredible. The neck on it is stupid. Music Man necks are just insane. Whatever finishing they're doing is just mental. And this has been the case for quite some time. But it's being pulled out today because it's friggin' amazing. So you've got the rosewood fingerboard, you've got the stainless steel frets on this one, Damasio pickups in this one that are kind of tuned for this model specifically. One volume, one tone, tremolo bridge that I've never used. Actually no, I used it once, and the way it comes set up in the factory is shit, so I just left it. I just don't use the trem on it at all. Scharler locking tuners, compensated nut, maple neck, mahogany body, bolt-on neck, super comfortable neck joint as well on these, if you can see that. These are killer guitars. Ernie Ball has my respect, big time. These are fantastic. So I've got this one tuned to C sharp standard for songwriting purposes. Now, I don't really write songs, but when I do, I like having a lower tuned guitar. Not that it suits my voice, because I've got, if I sing, which you guys may hear one day, doubtful, but you may hear it, I've got quite a high range, so it's not like I've got to take the guitar down in tuning to suit my voice. I just like how it sounds. You know, I got started with E flat, and then I was like, well, what if we try D standard, like my Telly? That sounded cool. And then with this one, I was like, screw it, C sharp standard. Let's just go for it. So here's how it sounds. Here's our neck pickup. Insanely good neck pickup sound. It's so clear, it's got so much top end to it, it's awesome. Middle position. Killer middle pickup sound. And then we go to the bridge. killer bridge pickup, killer everything pickup. So there you have it. There's the Music Man Stingray. If anyone's thinking about picking up an early ball guitar, just do it. They're just killer. Even the Sterling stuff, which I haven't played much of, but what I have played has been insane. Alrighty, second on the agenda for today is this beautiful piece of kit. This is a custom guitar built by the lovely James Cargill. This one was, it's kind of like a 21st present to myself, kind of like I'm graduating uni, well done me, pat myself on the back, let's get a guitar type thing, but I wanted something really special, alright, and this is an heirloom instrument. This is one of those guitars, I'm never going to sell it, never ever ever, because it's so important to me. Other than being a phenomenal instrument, it was my first custom guitar built by a local guy who I consider a friend. Charlotte tuners, Tasmanian Blackwood top, Swamp Ash back, because Swamp Ash is my fave, crazy roasted bird's eye maple neck, Godot 510 bridge, Zex coil pickups, the Z series HSS things, one volume, one tone, a little switch that we'll talk about in a tick, 21 frets, kind of everything that you need from a Strat. So let me take you through the process of how this was built. I approached James and I was like, I like Strats, can you make me a Strat? And he's like, of course I can. I make guitars for a living, a Strat is really easy. And then I said, haha, but guess what? I want a cool Strat. And he's like, what do you mean by cool? And I was like, carve top it, bro. So he hand carved the top, and you can't really see it, but there's a little black line in between Swamp Ash and the Tasmanian Blackwood. That's a little bit of dyed maple. It's a dyed maple veneer, just to give it a little bit of, I guess you could almost call it binding. And I think it just looks super sweet. Ties into the ebony fingerboard, ties into the black pickups. Super, super nicely. But I spec'd it out. This piece of Victorian Blackwood, actually, when I went up to his shop, he was going, right, do we want to do a top? Do we want to do just a one-piece body thing? What do we want to do? And he pointed out this piece of wood, and it just so happened he kind of bought this cut of wood from his wood supplier about 21 years ago from that point. And I was like, well, I'm turning 21. How cool would this be on the top of my guitar? Like a piece of wood that he bought around the time I was born. That's super cool. And it's crazy flamed as well. This kind of blackwood you do not see. It is exceptionally rare unless you look at Maiden Custom Shop or something like that. This is a beautiful piece. It's a one-piece Swamp Ash body as well. Let's hear it. Alright, oh, and also Canadian Strat, because my friend Bryce, shout out buddy, went to Canada, and he was really, really thoughtful, and he brought me back a Strat, a guitar strap with the Canadian flag on it, so that's why I have it on this guitar. Anyway, let's start with the neck pickup. Nice and simple. Neck pickup, 4 position. I love this bridge, it's awesome. Middle position. Nice. 2 position. this thing holds on. It sustains like you wouldn't believe. Bridge pickup. Nice. So that's all the 5 positions. Next on the agenda, we have this little switchy switch here, which was going to be the AZ switching, but these pickups and the way they're manufactured are actually kind of weird, so it didn't work. Or at least it didn't work in a way that was simple enough for me to just go, yeah, Jim, do it. He tried it, and then we plugged it in, and it didn't work. So we were like, oh, fuck it, do you want to just, you know, make it so the bridge comes in when you flick it? And we were like, yeah, that's just gonna be easier and way more useful, frankly. And it's true, it has been way more useful. As much as I love the AZs, there's a lot of sounds on there that I probably wouldn't use. So this is a really, really good happy medium for me. So we've got the neck. Now if we chuck in that switch, if we flick it down, we get the bridge pickup. I don't know why I started playing Change the World by Eric Clapton, but I did. And this is my favourite sound. This is the 4 position with the bridge pickup engaged, so all 3 pickups are on. I'm going to play it clean, and then I'm going to show you what the application that I use it in more often than not. So. So super pretty by itself, right? And then what I do is I go over to my helix and I put the modulation on. So I've got some delay, I've got some chorus, and I've got some compressione. And then what we do is we go to town. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my favourite sounds on the goddamn planet. It's beautiful. This guitar is beautiful, physically as well as tonally. It's fantastic, which you're probably getting sick of me saying by now. This guitar is fantastic. They're all fantastic, Ben. Why'd you buy them if they weren't? Anyway, next guitar on the agenda, and this is the one with the really, really good story. All right, so, and lastly, but certainly not leastly, especially in regards to the story behind it. This is my Partscaster, all right? It's an American standard body, a shitty little $50 Real Parts Godot bridge ripoff, which I've wanted to change for years, but I just never have. Graphtec saddles, Zex coil pickups. These were the first Zex coils I actually got, and you can see them in a video here, or there, or wherever it will be. yeah, funnily enough, it's one of my really successful videos, and it's really shitty. But that's the set of pickups that I got. Warmouth neck. This has their boat neck carve on it, I think. Whatever the biggest one is, I think it's the boat neck. It's like an inch thick from 0 to 12. It's a chonker. I love it to pieces. Stainless steel frets, 22 frets. The Fender Schala tuners. I think they call this colour Inca Silver. It's got coffee stains on it. It's the pickguard's yellow as all hell. This is a workhorse. This was a guitar that I got in a trade. Alright, so begins the story. So, you remember back in the PRS collection video where I was talking about the mirror and how I needed a second guitar? Well, it was actually a third guitar, okay? Technically fourth, okay? I had my SE, the Santana, and then I went up to Allen's Billy Hyde when it was on Burke Street on one of those trips that I did with Matt, my good friend. And as everyone who knows me knows, I'm a huge fan of B.B. King. I love his playing so much, so inspirational. And I'd never seen one of his signature guitars in person. And so one fine day, we catch the tram from uni down to Burke Street, Allen's Billy Hyde, and in the window, I see this Lucille, an Epiphone Lucille, and I go, oh my god, I've never seen one of these, I have to play this guitar, I have to play it. And so Matt and I go in, I plug it in through a Mesa Boogie Transatlantic 15, and I immediately fall in love with it, because the 335 body style is super comfortable for me. I'm not crazy tall, I'm 6 foot, but that body shape just really feels nice to me. A huge neck on it, obscenely big, almost as big as this. It was ridiculously massive. And I go, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to think about this, because I need a second guitar, Matt. And Matt's like, yeah, I know you do, mate, yeah, you should get this. And so I went home, I slept on it, I thought about it, and I was like, screw it. I am going to get that guitar. So I got the guitar along with a mono Vertigo gig bag, which are just the best gig bags ever. And then the honeymoon period ended and the rose tinted glasses came off, and I discovered that this guitar was actually a piece of shit. It wasn't good. It was a really bad guitar. So how was it bad, you ask? Well, first of all, the detail work on it was like terrible. The fret ends were shithouse. Everything in terms of attention to detail and build was just atrocious. Second of all, the pickups, I think they're the Pro Buckers. But whatever pickups they were using, utter shit. Just some of the worst sounding pickups I've ever heard in my life. And the more I look back on it, the more I go, why on earth did I spend the money on that piece of shit guitar? And it was because I loved B.B. King and I just wanted this guitar to work. But in hindsight, it really didn't. So I was happy with the guitar, of course, at first, and then I went to do my teaching gig, and I took it to my boss, and I said, hey, I've got a new guitar, it's B.B. King, yeah. And this is the same guy I was talking about in the Tokai video, who loved the 335. And he picked it up, played one chord on it, and he handed it back to me, and he went, that's a fucking dog, mate. I think those were also his exact words, which was pretty brutal as like an 18, 19-year-old kid to hear from your boss about this guitar that you just picked up. And my heart sunk, because I was so hoping that he'd like the guitar. But he didn't, he hated it, and with good reason as well. So I just went, oh no, you know what, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I like this guitar, it's a really good guitar. And I just kept telling myself that, and then I would take it to uni, and I'd have tuning issues, and I couldn't be heard in the band, and all these kind of things arose, and the more I played it, the more I'm like, fuck this, god damn it, he's right, it's a piece of shit. So I put it up on the Facebook, the Gumtree, the whatever, and I said, hey, does anyone have some money to buy this guitar off me, including the mono gig bag? Someone take it off my hands. Or, if you've got a Strat, I'd love to trade. And a guy I knew, a gentleman named Paul, said, hey, I've got a friend up in Whoop Whoop who has a Strat that he'd love to trade for your BB King. And I said, no way, that's perfect. Can you get some photos of this Strat for me? And he said, yep, absolutely. And he sent me through these photos, and it was this guitar, but it had a different neck on it. It had a Warmoth, it was the big V neck as opposed to the U, the boat neck. And it had a rosewood fingerboard, and he'd put the Fender decal on it and everything. And it was a bird's eye maple neck as well. And I said, oh my god, that's gorgeous. At that point, it had Seymour Duncan SSL 1s in it as well, as opposed to the Zex coil. And I said, oh my god, that's it. I don't even need to play it. I want that guitar. It's stunning. It's so, so cool. To be fair, I wasn't overly keen on the silver at first, but it's really, really grown on me. So I was like, fuck yeah, Strat. Awesome. Let's go for it. And he said, well, I'm visiting so-and-so in a couple of weeks. How about I just grab your guitar, I drive up, go hang out, and I bring his guitar back. And I said, yep, that works a treat. Cool. Take my guitar, off to the races we were. In the interim, I'm talking to this guy because he sent me some photos, and I start noticing little things. He said to me the specs were American body, yada yada yada, this, that, and the other, Goto tuners, Goto bridge. No, Callahan bridge, sorry. He said it was a Callahan bridge, right? And my inner nerd was kind of freaking out going, oh, hell yeah, I've heard about the Callahan bridges. I didn't know they made a 2-post bridge. And so I queried him on it. And I said, hey man, are you sure it's a Callahan bridge? Because I don't think they do 2-post tremolos. And he said, yeah mate, it's a Callahan bridge. And then I had a look at the tuners. Those aren't Goto or Shala or whatever he said they were at all. They're not the correct tuners. And so I quizzed him on that. And I said, they're not Shala tuners, man. And by this point, he was probably getting sick of me. And he said, basically palmed me off and said, no, look, they're whatever they are, tuners. Finally, I was on the train home with, again, my friend Matt. And I think my friend Tim was there as well. And I was on realparts.com. And I was looking at their bridges because I was like, I swear to Christ, it's not a Callahan. And I went to the Callahan website and they don't do a 2-post bridge. So I went to Real Parts to try and figure out what it might be, because it might be a Goto, Goto, because I know they do 2-post trems. And lo and behold, I go to the Real Parts website and I find out that it's their own brand 2-post trem. I say to the guy, hey man, this is the bridge that's on the guitar. And I send him a link. And then, oh boy, he doesn't like that at all. He sends me this essay and just goes, look mate, I've been in the industry for 30 plus years. I know what I'm talking about. You're an idiot, basically, yada yada yada. If you don't want the guitar, you know, I won't do the trade, whatever. And at this point, even if it wasn't what he said it was, I knew I was getting the good end of the deal, because he was getting a shitty guitar. It was just a piece of shit. And so I basically swallowed my pride and said, you know what, you win this round, okay, fine, it is what you say it is. Just to appease him to the point where I would get the good guitar and he would get the piece of shit. And so the day comes when I pick it up, or when it's brought to me, and I take one look at it in person. And another thing he said the case it comes in, he said it came in an SKB hard case. And for those of you who haven't seen an SKB hard case, they're really good kind of flight cases, more or less, with TSA locks and everything. And it comes to me in this fucking Crossfire, like $50 hard case, just generic rectangular one. And I was like, you gotta be joking. This guy's so full of shit. I took this guitar home and I played it and I'm like, well, my God, it's a really, really good guitar, so I'm happy with it. But that guy, what a douche canoe, because I knew I was right, and I was. But he was so in denial about it. Or I don't know, he was trying to I don't know what the purpose of him lying was, but he did, and I called him out on it, and he didn't admit he was wrong. And it was very funny, and it's still a great joke to this day, you know. Oh, has that got a Callahan bridge on it? You know, it's a good inside joke. But anyway, I, over time, kind of changed some parts on this because this was a guitar that I was using at uni. I needed stuff to work. So, of course, the $50 cheap shit bridge had saddles on it that were dodgy. I kept breaking strings, and I never break strings. So I got the Graphtec String Saver saddles and never had a problem since. These are awesome. I put actual Fender locking tuners on this, courtesy of, again, my friend Matt, thank you. And the reason for the pickup change was because I was looking for noiseless pickups. And I'd heard the Damasio, like the Area 61s and the Seymour Duncan stacks and whatever. And I was never pleased with them. I didn't like what they sounded like. I didn't like what they felt like. So I was on the lookout for some noiseless pickups, and along came these. Shane DiOrio actually got me onto them. Shane at In the Blues. You all know who he is. You're watching a guitar video. You know who Shane is. He got me onto the Zex coils, and I've been super pleased with them because I would go into every room at uni. And I remember explicitly the one time, the one assessment I did, that it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was playing "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers" by Jeff Beck, and of course doing the Jeff Beck thing, I was trying to be really dynamic and switch pickups and whatever, and in this room it was just not happening. I tried to go to the neck pickup and the buzz was louder than the note and everything, so I had to do the whole thing on the 2 and the 4 position, and I just wasn't happy with that at all. And I was super nervous because I was playing in front of, I think, Matt Fagan and Glenn Cannon, who are 2 of the greatest guitar players I've ever seen in my life, and also 2 of the coolest people that I was lucky to learn from. And I was I was nervous to begin with because I was playing in front of them. Then to add to the nervousness, the guitar wasn't working the way I wanted it to, so I was like, fuck it, I need noiseless pickup stat. So I put the Zex coils in it. The last thing I did to this guitar, my god, this story has turned into a very long-winded one. I turned it into a baritone, so I got 14 to 68 or 64 strings on here, and one person is responsible for that, Ariel Posen. So thank you, Ariel. I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to play through the positions, and we'll hear how it sounds. Alright, so bridge pickup. There's your bridge. Here's your 2 position. Three position, middle pickup. Four position. Neck pickup. There goes your intonation all the way up there. Yeah, so that's the Partscaster, everyone, story and all. Alrighty folks, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the crazy stories, especially the story about this one, because it's redonkulous. Please leave a like, leave a comment, do all of that kind of stuff. Share it with your friends. Go on, kids. Do it. Share this subpar content with people who don't care. But seriously, no, I do appreciate everyone watching, everyone commenting, and all of that kind of jazz. Again, there's a couple more of these videos to come, so stay tuned. I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Alright, see you later.